2017 will always be remembered as a big year in the gaming world. There were so many games that came out, a lot of big hitting names, a lot of ones that people didn't really know about a series as a whole, but then one of them came out and it just blew up the series and made it more popular. And there was even some decent HD remasters of some past old games. There was also some new IPs that came out, and just overall this was a fantastic year to be a gamer in 2017. Hello everyone and welcome to my top 10 games for 2017. I just want to say a few things about this. This top 10 video is going to be about games that I have completed from start to finish main story. Now I could have done the main story of a game but not really do all the side stuff that it had to offer. I would still put that on the list. Just as saying, as soon as I start from the beginning of the game to seeing credits roll, that game will be on this list. Number 2, games that are, say, HD master or ports will not be on this list, unfortunately. We did have a lot of those games come out this year, and they were all fantastic, but they have all came out previously. I will explain that in a separate video. And number 3, I just want to say that this is of my opinion, and my opinion alone. That is not influenced by any scores on the internet. It just basically is my influence on the overall experience that I've had with these games this year. From January 1st, 2017 to December 31st, 2017, all the games that I have played were start and finished in the calendar year. I want to point that out as well. So, just a reminder, games that were released in my country, which is the United States, that came out of my country, and I've played from start to credits roll, and games that have not previously been out. Like I said, I'll explain that in a separate video. And again, this is all based on my opinion and my overall experience. So, without further ado, let's enjoy the top 10 games of 2017. Number 10, Gravity Rush 2. Now, a lot of people may have even forgotten that this game came out this year. It's the sequel to the previous entry in the series, Gravity Rush, and that's a fantastic game as well. This game does take a few of the critiques that I've had with the first one, and they improved on it. It's definitely a lot of fun to move around in Gravity Rush 2 as it was in the first game. You control Kat, a girl who can shift her gravity and can fly and move around and such because she can manipulate gravity around her and of her own gravity. It's a fun game. The story is pretty interesting as well. I will say it's probably one of the weakest stories of the video games that came out this year, but I still had fun with this game, and I was still shocked and surprised about some of the twists and turns that this game had to offer. And I've heard that the DLC is pretty good in this too. I have yet to touch it, but I'm still looking forward to playing it. And I'm actually excited to see what they would do in the future with this kind of game, if there's going to be a Gravity Rush 3 or not. I will also say that, unlike the first game, it did not come out on PlayStation Vita, which is where I played Gravity Rush 1. And it was really fun on the Vita. It's kind of unfortunate that Gravity Rush 2 didn't get a Vita port, but it came out on the PS4. But it was still a fun game, and I enjoyed playing it, and I see why this is my number 10 of games of 2017. Number 9, Resident Evil 7. Now, this game, if you have been playing Resident Evil games in the past, or have played any Resident Evil games in the past as well, you will see how different this is. This is the first time that a Resident Evil game has gone in a first-person kind of view, and it's really fun, too. You get to walk around the baker's home, try to find your lost wife who's been missing for years, and then you finally learn the deeper, darker secret and how it somewhat connects to other parts of the series. I'll be honest, I have not played too many Resident Evil games, but I do enjoy Resident Evil 7. It's a fun game, and it's scary to boot too. There's so many times where I just jumped and screamed at some of the jump scares that they have in this game. The plot of this is actually pretty decent too. The characters, there's not that many of them, but they're pretty decent as well, especially the main character, the one that you play. He does do the whole fuck type things, like, okay, I just gotta get out of here at some point, and it's really interesting that he does it. It's really fun. I enjoy this game, and again, this might be one that some people forgot that came out because it came out so early in the year. It came out in January. But still, I enjoyed it, and I had a blast playing with it, and I hope if anyone else has played, they had fun too. And I'm definitely looking forward to going to the DLC of this game at some point. And that's why this is my number 9 of top 10 games of 2017. Number 8, South Park: The Fractured Butthole. This is the sequel to the first South Park game, The Stick of Truth, in this RPG style game. And I will say, it's fun. It's basically playing another episode of South Park, especially with how it ends with, it has TV show credits, but then it has actual credits afterwards. It's still pretty fun. And of course, it's an Ubisoft game, so the credits are super long. But still, I enjoy this game. The combat seems to be a little bit of a step up from the previous game. It's not a whole you pick and choose. It's not like it's more like a strategy style too, because you have to move your player around to make sure that you can hit them, and your attacks have ranges that they can go through. Like an attack could only land like if you're like in front of them, or it can hit a certain area. Like it can hit the whole row in front of you, or it can hit the first spot in front of you, and then in the row back it goes to the 2 on the side, and then you go another row back and hits the 2 on the side there too. It's very interesting like that. The combat is probably the most improvement thing. Story-wise, I say it's a little bit weaker than Stick of Truth. Not to say that the story, it's basically a South Park game. It has its humor, and it's a good game. I will say it's a pretty decent game. I enjoyed my time with this. Definitely enjoyed it. Like I said, the story's pretty weak compared to the first one, but combat-wise, and of course the characters, some of the characters I love, other characters I'm like, you're annoying and such. But yeah, it's such a great game, and I hope people that play this game enjoyed it too, because I know I did. And that's why it's number 8 on my top 10 games of 2017. Number 7, Assassin's Creed Origins. I love this game. This game is fantastic. It basically took some of the old concepts that the Assassin's Creed had and threw it out the table. It's no longer a whole, you have sequences and you can go through them and you have to 100% sequences. It's totally different now. It's basically like a linear exploration through Egypt. And that's another thing too. The setting is in Egypt, and we get to see the origins of how the assassins came together. It's such a neat concept, and I love how they do the whole RPG style of gaming. It's a little bit of RPG style, but it's still fun. You get to pick up new, and you don't have to set weapons. You just pick up weapons from defeated enemies, or find them in chests or whatever, and you find them and you can use them. You still have the whole level up system that they've had in previous Assassin's Creed games, where you gain experience and then you can pick which perks you would want with those experience, with those level points that you've gotten once you reach, I think it's once you gain 1,000 experience or something like that. But it's still a fun game, and I enjoy playing it, and I enjoy learning about the true origins of the assassins. And the story is pretty incredible. It's a strong story. This is the strongest Assassin's Creed has been, and I hope that they keep going up from this, and I can't wait to see what the next one is. Hopefully they do it as justice as they did with this one, and try not to go back to what they did in the past. They need to learn what works, and this definitely works. I wouldn't mind if they brought back the sequences. That's still fine. I would be fine with that. Just keep the stuff that works, and implement maybe more stuff from the past, or improve on the ones from the past and bring them back in. But still, I enjoyed this game, and that is why it's number 7 of my top 10 game of the years. Number 6, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Now, this is where I'm probably going to be getting a lot of comments saying, why is this number 6? This should definitely be higher on your list. I just want to point out that, hey, this is my own thoughts and feelings. I do say I really did enjoy this game, especially since it was a launch title for the new console, the Nintendo Switch, that we got this year too. This game is fun. I've played plenty of Zelda games in the past, probably not as many as probably the average Zelda fan, but I still enjoy this game. This game breaks the mold of what the Zelda games had. It is a big open world game. You get to go around, find all the shrines. You can do whatever you want. Hell, as soon as you wake up and start the game, you can head off and go face the final boss right away if you wanted to. That's a great concept that this game has. However, it's a double-edged sword as well. It is a big, massive world, but sometimes it can feel a bit empty in it. And I say that with, you know, it's my own thoughts about it. Once again, I'm not judging this on what anyone else says. It's my own thoughts. This game is a big open world. That's fantastic. It's amazing that a game like this can run on the Switch. It's just that it feels so empty sometimes. Like, the only time you could find some people is if you're like in a town or area. I will say, however, that you could find people if you were running on a path. Like if you're riding your horse or whatever other modes of transportation you have, and you meet people. That's fine. I enjoy it, but and there's also enemies around too, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it feels empty like when you couldn't find someone and just talk to them. I want to talk to people. I don't want to just keep fighting enemies. Not that there's anything wrong with that either, because you get to fight enemies, and you know, that's how you get weapons. Again, this is a different Zelda game. You're basically picking up weapons as you go. Your first weapon is basically a tree branch that you find when you get out of your cave after Link has been sleeping for 100 years. I will say the story's pretty good. It's a fantastic story. It's definitely an amazing game, story-wise too, and it's the first time that there's been voice acting in a Zelda game. I have to give it props there too. Now, a lot of people have complained about the voice acting in it, but I enjoyed it. I really did love the voice acting in this game. From Zelda to the King to the 4 champions to everyone that you meet that has voice acting in this game. It's fantastic. This game is fun and amazing, and I do enjoy it. And I'm especially enjoying the DLC right now too. It is a fun game, and it does have a lot of stuff too. I still have side quests that I need to do as well. So I'm not saying that you won't be bored of this game. I'm just saying that there's a lot of stuff in this game that I wish there was more of, especially in an open world. But that's why it's number 6 of my top 10 games of 2017. Well, that has been part 1 of my top 10 games of 2017. I will say that this list was very, very hard to come up with because there were so many games that came out this year, and just narrowing it down to 10 took a lot of work, and then trying to find a place for all of them took a lot of work as well. But let me know how you guys feel about my 10 through 6 top 10 games of 2017. Do you agree with some of them? I know a lot of you are probably going to disagree with what I had at number 6, but at least let's have a conversation about it. Don't just yell at me. Let's have a conversation about this, all right? I want to know all your thoughts in the comments down below. And don't worry, guys, part 2 will be coming out tomorrow as well, where you get to see my top 5 games of 2017. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.